This is a man of high intelligence. He is not, in my opinion, he's not a real politician. He is the young Anwar Ibrahim in the 1970s fighting for poor Malay people, as he is today fighting for the poor Indians and the poor Malays and the poor Chinese. And this is the Prime Minister we see in the future 2 years from now after we win Putrajaya on 9th of May. Correct? That is why, ladies and gentlemen, you must believe that we are not here to put somebody in power. We are here to change the system. And this is how we're going to change the system. I know you go to drama, you like me to whack Rosma's big hair, I know lah, but give her a break lah. Yeah? Her haircut very expensive, you know. Okay? So give her a break lah. We're not going to whack the government. You all know the government's corrupt. Corrupt to the core, right? Yeah? There's no saving them. I'm going to tell you what we have to look forward on the 9th of May onwards. First, by eliminating corruption, by putting in the system where you have political party financing funded by the federal government, where the members of parliament are given full support in resources, not pay, resources, to do their job honestly, by making MACC completely independent, reporting directly to parliament, not directly to the Prime Minister or getting money from the Prime Minister as it is now. These fundamental reforms, coupled with press freedom, the right of every reporter to report any corruption. When we get these 4 little things done, within 2 months or 3 months of parliament, we get these 4 little things done, you will see an immediate transformation to the country. We will save close to 40 billion a year, ladies and gentlemen. We will save that 40 billion and we will invest it on better education, eliminating the poor poverty issue, make sure that every Malaysian is no longer desperate. Your community will be safer after that. Crime rate will drop. Crime rate will drop when people are not desperate, people have a future, their children have a future. I come from an area of Kelana Jaya, where we have very poor people and very rich people. The entire Subang Jaya is middle class. But in Kelana Jaya, what we call Sri Setia, we got rich and poor. If you don't deal with the poor people's problem, this country cannot heal itself. It is not so much about politics, left and right, right-wing politics or neoliberal or conservative or Republican or anything like that. It is really to do with the fundamental issue that the poor people, we must care. And this is where Anwar Ibrahim always drive home the point. When we do economic policies, we're not doing for the rich people, we're doing for the poor people. Ensure that the distribution of wealth is given to the poor so that the rich people can make their money and feel safe. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to pump this economy up. I can tell you one thing. If we change these anti-corruption rules, make sure it's implemented, there are 1.2 million to 1.3 million Malaysians out there. And I'm not talking about the Tufei one, not those working in Japan, Korea. We expect them to come back also. We're talking about professional class. 500,000 Malaysians, lawyers, engineers, accountants in Singapore, building the Singapore economy. They are not building our economy. But when we change the government, I pray to God 200,000 of them will come back and blow our economy up. We will bring back easily 200 billion in investment into Malaysia. So all of you who are doing business, you can expect free flow of credit from your bank. You can expect the ringgit to strengthen. You can expect great economic growth, flow of money, more spending. But I expect you all to do one thing back in return for us. Pay your tax. And no more GST, but pay your income tax. Pay your corporate tax, because I want to take that corporate tax. I want to take your income tax and help the poor. And that is the fundamental truth in government. The government is not a government if it's a government for the rich. A government, deep down in your heart, I know all of you. Yi Wei knows about it, yeah, because we talk about policies like this. Deep down in our heart, we must help the poor. And that is why I can guarantee you this. If we help the poor, and the poor is what? The poor are mostly Malays. They are mostly in Sabah, Sarawak, our partners. The poor are also Indians. The Chinese do have poor, but smaller amount of number. If you help the poor, you will make sure that they're no longer desperate. If they are no longer desperate, they will not fall into the trap of those religious bigots out there. They will not fall into the trap of racial politics. This country will become peaceful and united. That is the fundamental issue here. Believe in us, we know what to do economically. We know how to pump this economy up, grow the thing. Because the history tells you one thing. If you remember, I'm 50 years old, I remember this very well. When is the greatest ever economic achievement of Malaysia? Anybody? When were we the greatest country in Southeast Asia? When were we an economic tiger? The years of 1992 to 1997. 1992 to 1997, we had a great country. A country we're proud of. And who was the Prime Minister then? And who was the Finance Minister then? Dr. Mahathir and Anwar Ibrahim. And on the 9th of May, we will get back the same combination of Dr. Mahathir and Anwar Ibrahim, and this country will be rich again. My last point I want to make. A lot of you are worried. Are we going to win or lose? Right? I go around walking in Subang. I went to the Malay area yesterday with Michelle Ng, the new candidate. It's very strange. You see PAS there. PAS is campaigning, but the Malays are not talking to them. It's very funny. In my area, PAS got a datuk, Chinese datuk called Jonathan Lim, I think, representing the PAS party. They bring in this Chinese guy going to become the candidate. So I told the PAS guy, hey brother, bila mau potong itu? They say, we're working on it, we're working on it. Nanti, sabar bang. Yeah? The reaction of people amongst the Malay community is very strange for me. You know, I come from Kelantan, Kota Baru, Kelantan. So I go there, I speak some Kelantanese, try to friend them. They react. It's not bad. But it's not as warm as we go to all the Chinese or Indian area. That one, they go crazy lah. They go and, I go to a restaurant, Chinese restaurant, they start chanting, Pakatan, Harapan. I'm just going to say hello, they want to shout. But when I walk along the Malay area, I get the feeling that there's something is slowly changing. A quiet change is happening. Yeah? I see the Malay guy going like this. Very quiet, like this. I say, hey, keadilan Okay, brother, relax. Okay. What we know is this. Today, as you know, I'm very close to Rafizi Ramli. I'm a co-founder of Invoke. And Invoke, we've done a lot of survey. And the latest survey, I can tell you, I want to share with you today. The latest survey. Yeah?